Okay, I'll pass the quiz first that you took the other day. So I can update Blackboard. If I only have one quiz on Blackboard, I forgot about it. If I only have one quiz on Blackboard, there's nothing to update. So now I have two. You can pretty much have a better look at your grades. Don't forget to turn the backhand and the basket face down. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors, yes, I expect more from you because this is a show talk. Freshmen, I'm a little bit nicer. Questions, comments, violent reactions on the quiz. Figure out what you did wrong. Don't do it again. Okay. These topics are repeated over and over and over and over. Right? That's why I said sophomores, juniors, seniors, I expect more from you because the topics have been covered on first sequence. Second. Is there one particular question in there that you want clarified or you want the answer to? Though I do write the answers, the correct answers on your page. Who said after seeing your grades, it's a stupid mistake?
Some of them were, not gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you saying that, okay? Because if we damage somebody accidentally, the parents or family members not gonna accept that it's a stupid mistake. Put ourselves in your shoes. Let's try our best not to do it again. But again, this is a room for mistakes, not outside. Okay? Ready? That's okay. Finish it up if she wants to try. That's this time.
Looking at Indeed, just go to like do something.
Yeah, I do that too.
Sunrise Hospital, $30 an hour.
When my student finished here, fresh from high school, sec class, she externed at Sunrise, 31.29. That was 3 or 4 years ago. There was even a point where there was a sign on goal
There's lots of sign on bonuses.
for nurses.
For pharmacy.
For pharmacy too.
Yeah.
See.
Guys.
It's that time again. When my friends moved to the US, it was a time where there was a lot of sign on. I didn't go with it. But yeah, there was shortage of pharmacists at that time, so they imported from different countries, mostly from Philippines and then there were too many. Yeah, there were too many pharmacists without jobs.
Yeah, it's hard to find for pharmacy.
Now, a lot of pharmacists are struggling, especially the ones in retail, wanting to give up. Because of COVID. I mean, the job alone is already difficult, it's too much already. And add the COVID, some of you guys, and even Grace is not in Ethan's working in a retail setting, you can see how it is. Most of the time, 90% of the time, your pharmacists are just stuck in front of the computer. You couldn't even pull anymore or dispense. That's why these medication errors are happening. But yeah, okay. Okay, let's continue. Pull out your packets from yesterday, wherever we left off. We are on the guided practice now, but we're still on the not on pharmacy items yet. So that the terminology will really, you will really have a better understanding of the terminologies before we jump to actual pharmacy, retail pharmacy business. This ones are still jackets and shirts and socks, right? Guided practice, first one. Find the percent of markup or percent discount, okay? Which we talked about yesterday, right? All those terminologies were covered. I was talking to Sasha yesterday after class and I said, do you know that the formula that I gave you wasn't really in the books? I created the formula because a lot of students are having a hard time understanding which is which. So I looked, how did I do it? And then I created a formula. Remember I told you pharmacists, chemists, other scientists, they don't go by formulas. They create the formula. So they find the answer and then go backwards so that they can tell what the formula is. Okay? So that formula you may use or not use. But like what I told you, numbers should talk to you. Okay? Which makes sense. Like the word is equivalent to equals if you're going to create an equation. The word off means multiply. Okay? But the question now is, which ones am I going to multiply? That's how I created a formula so that those students who want formulas, they have it. Okay, just makes it easier. And then yesterday I used the words that the students keep using. Are you going to describe this terminology? So I gave you a pen, which is this one that says that increasing, decreasing. Okay. Number one, what is the markup? Did you see I scratched it off, not discount? What is the markup percentage for the jacket? The wholesale price of the jacket, wholesale price terminology you covered yesterday. The wholesale price of the jacket is $17. The retail price or the selling price is $24. What is the markup first? $7. It's 24 minus 7. That should give you $7. And what is $7 a percentage? Well, basically, that's the question, right? Percentage of what? Percentage markup. What's the answer? 41%. Correct. What did you do? How'd you solve that? $7 divided by $17 times 100 should give you 41%. Who used the formula created? Was it easier? That's why he did that. For those students who want formula. We just use the words and then just create a whole equation. Doesn't matter what you do, as long as you came up with this answer and you stick to that instruction. This one for number one, markup percentage. Okay. Number two, the regular price, which is the retail price of a jacket, is $24. The store has it on sale, buyer favor, right? For $20. Find the amount of discount, amount first. And then find the percentage, round your answer to the nearest 100, specific instruction. Okay. Maddie, number two, what's the amount of discount? $4. Why? How'd you do that?
$24 minus $20
is $4, correct. And then what's the percentage of that discount?
16.67 or 17%.
Okay, it says round to the nearest 100, so it's 16.67%. Okay, discount. So $4 is 16.67%. Or if you want to picture it better, let's do more numbers. 17% off the what? The actual original selling price. Is that correct? Okay. Number three, Kristen, find the selling price after the discount. Round your answer to the nearest 100. $30 sweater, 55% discount. Correct. Did you use the shortcut that I taught you? Yes. Okay. So how's that? $30 times 0.45. Why? Because it's 55 off. 100 minus 55 is 45. That's how you'll get 13.50. Who got that one? Hands up. Okay. Yeah. Number 4, Angelica. Find the selling price after the markup described. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth again. Okay. 75 cents pair of socks. 250% markup. What's the answer?
I can have $4.50.
Not for me. Okay. Remember, if I'm going to use the shortcut, Ethan, help me out, it will be 75 cents times. No.
3.5.
There you go. Because it's a markup plus the original. That's 3.5, not 2.5, because 2.5 is just a portion of the 250% markup. What happened to your original investment? Original cost. So if you're going to use the shortcut, it will be 75 cents times 3.5, and the answer should be
$2.63.
$2.63. It seems like some of you got this wrong. Okay, got it now? If I'm using the shortcut, it only pertains to the markup. The 250% only pertains to the markup. So you're just adding that to the original investment or cost. Clear? Okay. You got a question? Somebody asked, please. Ellie, was it you? Okay. Who got that one? 263. Good job. Okay. To those of you who didn't get it, did you get it now? Okay. This one's independent practice, but I let the numbers continue. Okay. Find the amount of markup or the amount of discount. It's just asking you of the amount. Okay. Round your answer to the nearest hundred. $85 radio, 10% discount. Go back to the instruction. It's not asking you how much the buyer is going to pay for it. Follow? $85 radio, 10% discount. The instruction said, find the amount of markup or the amount of discount. Sasha, number 5. Answer. No. Okay. Why? Go back to the question. Okay. Find the amount of markup and the amount or the amount of discount. It's only the markup that you're being asked, not how much the person's going to pay for. So for the first one, it's going to be 85 times 0.10 because it's just the markup or the discount. The discount is 10%, so you're not going to use the shortcut I taught you. That's why I said, follow the instructions. The instruction said, again, find the markup amount or discount amount. So the problem on number 5 said $85 radio, 10% discount. So how much is that 10% discount? You're not going to do a 0.9 multiplier. You follow? Because of the instruction. And this is how it will get confusing on the final exam. All right. So bottom line, always answer the question and always follow the instruction. Okay. If I taught you one thing, don't get hung up on that because I teach you so many things. Right? So redirect. Go back to what? Go back to the instruction. Do you know that when I do it, I underline the instruction even? Because I want to make sure I'm answering the question. Right? So number 6 would be $12 t-shirt with 155% markup. How am I going to do this? With the instruction, calculate the markup or the discount. This time, $12 times, Ellie, 1.55. Why? It's just asking you the markup or the discount. So you're not going to do the +1 here because it didn't ask you how much will the buyer or the customer or the patient pay for. It asks you specifically how much is the markup alone. You follow? Okay. You can't see. 12 times 1.55 is $18.60. $18.60. You got to put the dollar sign. Or I'm gonna put in their pounds or Australian dollars so that it's not correct. Put that side. Who got 850 on number 5? Nobody. You did? Okay, but originally, did you see it? Okay, don't get hung up on tricks that I teach you. Get hung up on the instructions.
It wasn't so much of the trick, I think it was like the already in how our brain computed what you were asking.
That's why I always recommend to read the instructions a minimum of 3 times. That's how most tests are gonna get you, not following instructions. Okay. So who got 1860 on number 6 without redoing it yet? Good. Number 7, another instruction right here. Follow? Find the selling price. You see, even I, on an answer key, underline my own instructions. Okay. Find the selling price after the markup or the discount prescribed. Described. Round your answer to the nearest hundredths. Okay, $7 toy, 125% markup. This time, the selling price. So if you want to use the shortcut that I taught you, this will be, Jessica, $7 times. Very good. 2.25 should give you 15.75. I specifically gave you this problem set for a reason, okay? So that you know there are different instructions. Don't get hung up on one that we keep doing, okay? Who got 15.75? Hands up. Very good. Number 8, same instruction as number 7. A $75 chair with a 75% discount. Again, go back to the instruction. What is the selling price after the markup? Or in this case, what is the selling price after the discount? Okay. If you are going to do the shortcut I taught you yesterday, Angelica, the equation will be? Correct, but how do you put that in an equation? $75 times 0.25. Correct, because you're being asked of the selling price. And you see the difference of the questions 5, 6 versus the questions 7, 8 are problem questions. Okay, don't get hung up, okay? Stick to the instructions. Answer the question. In major exams, I told you, right? It's a multiple choice question for your PTC. There are 4 options, okay? In the pharmacy test, it's very similar. Of the 4 options, you're gonna think sometimes all of the statements are true, right? Right. But it's not asking you whether each statement is truthful. There's a question per number, right? You have to answer the question. And that should be the choice you pick for a multiple choice question, not whether each of the statements is true. Okay? That's why I do my worksheets this way. I underline. See, you can pass it around. I underline what's being asked of me. Okay. Sometimes I encircle. Okay. When it's a computerized test, which the PTCE will be, you're given a dry erase marker and a dry erase sheet. I think 3 sheets after that. Dry erase. You're not allowed to erase that. When you're done, turn it over, okay, with your writings in there. There's camera in each cubicle. One thing you can do, since it's computerized, you can use a dry erase or a scratch paper. There's like a star or a flag that you mark, okay, and then move on to the next if you're having a hard time with that. And then at the end, we'll let you go back to each of the ones you marked. Okay, that's how the PTC is. Is it time limited? Yes. It is a 90-question test. I'd say 2 hours all the time, but it's actually 1 hour and 50 minutes. And then you take a survey at the very end. And one of the disclaimers would say you're not allowed to talk about this or any part or content of this for 3 years, okay, based on my last information. And then the problem is, if you fail, which I don't want you to do, okay, you will have to wait 60 days before you can retake the test. And, oh, it's no problem, 60 days. What if you already have a job offer? And it actually requires you to be a CPHT. Your job's not gonna wait 60 days for you. The job offer's not gonna wait 60 days. That's why I want the students to pass first time around. And we have 100% pass rate on that. So, first timers. Any questions? We'll do more practice. I am going to give you a different one. This time, it is related to pharmacy. Can you please get one in class? There'll be another terminology that will be added in that basic accounting. Okay. Dispensing fee. Okay. Well, if you go to the doctor, there's what you call professional fee or consultation fee. Very similar concept. All right. Call it dispensing fee. Did you get the nystatin? Nystatin is an antifungal. I know it's a statin, but it's not a statin. Okay, what are statins for? Cholesterol, right? But this is not that. Okay, the name just says nystatin, but it is an antifungal. Okay. Prescription is nystatin oral solution. Okay. But this is business math, retail business math. We're going to apply everything we learned yesterday, terminologies wise, calculation wise, in pharmacy. So this time, no more socks, no more shoes, no more purse. We're dealing with the real thing, the drugs, the prescriptions, etc. Okay. Nystatin solution costs $20.75. It takes $5. I'll identify it, okay? So this is your cost per pint. And then it says it takes $5.25 to dispense the entire contents of the bottle, considering personnel time, pharmacy supplies, shipping, and maintaining the supply. Okay. Dispensing fee. This is where your salary comes into play, pharmacy salary. Okay. If a 20, this is your dispensing fee. If a $20 profit plus 20, I'll put that plus 20, okay, is the goal of the product or the business, okay, what is the selling price required for the pint bottle? So you wanted a 20%, I'll put this as a markup, right? Business owner. These are your variables. How do we solve this one? I taught you the trick yesterday because it's very helpful in problems like this. Very, very helpful. Somebody tell me, what's the first step? Okay, louder, Jessica. There will be some differences here, okay? You said 20.75 and then you add 5.25? No. Okay. Who says something else? No? No? Okay. You got to remember basic accounting, sales, right? That's cost of goods sold equals gross profit minus expenses equals to net profit. Here's how it will go. Okay, that's why I said I gotta teach this part. Okay, why? Well, your dispensing fee falls under expenses. So supposedly, it should be $20.75. You start off with a markup. You add the markup first because the goal of the business on this particular product, which is nice satin, is plus 20%. Can you follow? Okay, plus 20%. So this will be times 1.20. Did I say 20%? Yeah, 20%. 1.20. You follow? Now, after you get this, what's the answer? 24.90, correct? The next thing you do is to add the dispensing fee. You don't incorporate the dispensing fee in the 20%, okay? Because the dispensing fee falls under. You get it? You're gonna work it backwards, okay? 24.90, then add now your dispensing fee, which is $5.25. So your selling price for a nice satin oral solution per pint is going to be $30.15 per pint. It's a little bit of adjustment on how you look at it. And it's okay. Why is it okay? Jessica's never worked in a pharmacy. Okay. Yeah. But you have to remember this dispensing fee is actually part of your operating expenses, which we talked about yesterday, remember? Overhead. Okay. Pharmacist salary, your salary, utilities, it falls under this. So you want to get the percentage markup first for the product before you add the fees. You follow? Okay, move on. What is the gross profit for the problem above, which is nice satin oral solution? Gross profit. I still have this here. I'm not erasing. You have a reference. What is gross profit? Your total sales, which is also your selling price, which you just calculated, correct? Okay. Selling price is what? 30.15. What is my gross profit based on this formula? What is my cost of goods sold? Minus 20.75. That is your wholesale price. Remember, your cost of goods sold can also be termed as your wholesale price. That's why you won't go wrong with a simple formula. Okay. So what is the answer here? 30.15 minus 20.75 is $9.30. If I have a follow-up question, what is the net profit? What do I do now? Because this is your gross profit. What do I do? Take out the, I can hear it. Take out the dispensing fee, which is $5.25 should give you. It's not in your packet, but I'm just saying, what if there's a follow-up question? $4.50. Okay. So as a net profit, if there was a follow-up question on your packet, the pharmacy actually made $4.50 per pint on a nice day. I'm sorry, 1.5? Sorry, okay. $4.15 per pint of nice satin oral solution. You follow? Okay. The next questions are only what? Conversions, quantity to be dispensed. So can you solve that before I give you another packet? These aren't even questions on money. Some are conversions of weight, kilograms to pounds. And then you have one more packet. And then I have one question for an extra credit of 10 points for your quiz tomorrow. Okay. No sharing of answers for this particular one question. Okay, that everybody's given. But we're going to go over this one first. Okay, ready for conversions? Ready? Okay. Alyssa, you have a stock solution that contains 20 milligrams of active ingredient per 5 ml of solution. The physician orders a dose of 8 milligrams. How many milliliters of the stock solution will have to be administered? To what? Correct. Who got that one? Don't give me a 2 and a question mark at the end, okay? 2 ml, correct. How did this happen? 20 milligrams over 5 ml equals 8 milligrams over X ml. It's 3 sentences or 2 sentences. Don't get overwhelmed by the word problem. It's very common for students. Stick to the question, okay? Who got 2 ml? Hands up. Okay, here we go. So within covered appliance, it's in your textbook and it's in the pharmacy math sheet that I gave you from the beginning. Okay, so conversion of pints and gallons are in there. During the course of treatment, a patient will receive 960 ml of medication. How many pints will she receive? So it's a simple question of converting ml to pints. Okay. What is the answer? Jalen. 2 pints, correct. Who got 2 pints? What's our conversion factor? What did you use to convert? You can use 473 ml for what? 1 pint, okay? 473. Some books will say 3. Yesterday we talked about apothecary and abortiflock because I saw that in the other day. I saw that in your quiz. Okay, I identified which one is English, metric, and then apothecary. You mentioned grains specifically for apothecary. Bless you. Kristen, ready? A patient weighs 55 kilograms. How many pounds does the patient weigh? It's a simple conversion of kilograms to pounds.
Can I take you back on that? I'm still working on this.
Okay, conversions, huh? It's just conversions. Ethan, a patient is told that the maximum dose of medication is 3 TBSP. What is the maximum number of milliliters that the patient can receive? So it's another conversion problem. Converting tablespoonful to ml. What is the answer, Ethan? 45 milliliters. Who got that one? 45 ml. Hands up. Good job. Ellie, next one. The medication is available as a 250 milligram per capsule. How many grams of the medication does the capsule contain? It looks overwhelming, but it's just conversion of milligrams to grams. Answer, Ellie? 0.25 what? Oh.
How many grams?
There you go. That's why I want you to identify correctly. So it's 0.25 grams. Okay, who got that one? Hands up. Okay, Maddie, a patient needed to take 10 ml of a medication, but is going to be measuring the medication with a teaspoon, which we shouldn't do anymore. That's why we're learning how to convert what? Household to metric. How many teaspoons or teaspoonfuls should he use? Or receive or take, Maddie? 2 TSP or 2 teaspoonfuls. Who got that one? Hands up. Okay, conversion of weight, 55 kilograms to pounds, Chrislyn? 121 pounds. Who got that one? Hands up. Good job. Okay. Spread out. I don't want anybody talking. This is your chance to get 10 points extra credit for tomorrow's quiz. I don't usually do extra credit. However, this particular problem pertains to what you just learned the last few days. After this, you're going to have practice worksheets. This is mine now. It's a multiple choice question. So your chance of getting it right is already 25%. But if you single out the correct answer, then you lose that point. Remember the monkey taking the test? Solve the problem. This is a multiple choice question. If you're having a hard time figuring out the answer, what previous students did is to test each answer. Okay? Like worst case scenario. But I'd like you to solve the problem first based on what you learned the last 2 days, including today. I'm not going to erase anything on the board. So you got all of those resources. Okay. Please do not talk. Oh, this is Virginia. Do not talk to your seatmate, talk to anyone, or you'll forfeit your chance for an extra credit tomorrow. I don't want anybody looking next to their classmate. Oh, sorry. That's why I have 2 extras. After this, one more worksheet for you to review in preparation for tomorrow's quiz. And we're done. That's why I said, I know I can do our finals on Monday if you wish, but you guys wanted to do both on Tuesday. That's fine. But Jaden and I talked about it. She said, I usually give the test separate too. I said, not this time. They want both Tuesday. Is that right? Okay. When you're done, raise your hand. I'm going to grab your paper from you. Prepare to write your name for the extra credit for tomorrow's quiz. And points is a lot. You remember that one that I gave you with extra credit? Many of you went over 100%, which you think I'm not, which you think is not going to help you. It will, because I'm going to record it as is 112% for some, right? So if you bombed one of the tests, the last 2 tests, it will pull it up. You done? How do I know what's that? Feel free to look on the board. I didn't erase it so that you have a reference. Read a problem over and over. My hands full of things. Tried everything. I tried nail polish remover. Take forever. One problem. You know how I always say, this is money math, that should be easy to understand. We always say that, but it always amuses me. Why, how students are having a hard time doing it. You can calculate. And then if you want to be sure, you can double check by trying each one. Another way. The worksheet that we just covered, the last one with conversions, your final exam, will be similar to that. But of course, it goes back as far back as conversions again. They supply quantity to be dispensed and retail quantity business. Remember the terminologies. They're going to come up on your math finals. Okay, that's why I gave you that packet. Markup, discount. In real life, the dispensing fee usually is tiered. If the prescription cost, say for example, $0 to $20, this is dispensing. $21 to $35, this is dispensing. It's there. One, two, three, four. 4 people have the same exact answer, and then 1 not the same. So there's 4 people who think alike, and there's 1 who thought differently, but it doesn't mean that that 1 is wrong because the majority has it. I always emphasize that to my son, okay? That's why you don't go with the flow. Don't just go with the flow. Okay, now I have 3 different answers. Okay, there's 4 options. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, Google. Set my timer for 1 minute. Honey? 2 people, same answers. 4 people, same answers. 1 person, 1 answer, different answer. "16 seconds. Better have an answer instead of nothing. 25% chance of getting it." I'm gonna talk about it. There you go. Better something than nothing. Okay. Almost everybody choose like different. Jessica, yes, kindergarten Kristen. Ethan, Angelica, Ellie, Jalen, Melissa, Sasha, Maddie. Only 2 got it right. Only 2. So it doesn't, that's why I'm telling you, it doesn't mean majority wins, majority is correct. The answer is $10. Let's break it down. Okay. Problem. Your retail pharmacy sells products at 45% markup. I left it here. Okay, I left this here. Your retail pharmacy sells products at 45% markup over wholesale, plus a set dispensing fee of $4. If you go by how I did the problem, you should be able to answer this. However, there's a little bit of a difference. A customer brings in a script for Verdanafil 5 milligrams. This pens 10 tablets.
Can you erase like the cost of like basically like the last column?
Just erase?
Yeah, because they all squishes together and then I like.
I can use a different color, but I wanted to relate it here. Let's leave this one.
It's just like because it all kind of squishes together and then so I'm like, ooh.
Okay. This is a prescription for 10. Okay. The total retail cost at pickup for the tablets, 10 tablets, the 10 tablets is $149. This is what the customer paid for. And, okay. What is your pharmacy's wholesale cost per tablet? Actually, remember, and it right here, dispensing fee is set to $4. Okay. First step would be to take out the $4 because you're gonna have to work in the reverse, right? From this, you take out this, $4 first. So this should give you what? $145 without the dispensing fee. However, what's the markup? What did 45%? 45%. So this means that this 145 is what? 1.45. 145%. You follow?
I get it. So you just made it.
Get it? So it's actually $145 divided by 1.45 is actually $100 for the 10 tablets. We're working backwards. Yeah, but the question was, what is your pharmacy's wholesale cost per tablet? So you have to divide this amount by 10, and that should give you $10 per tablet. Let's double check. I'll use a different color. Double check. $10. Oops. $10 times 10 is $100, correct? Okay. I want a 45% markup times 1.45. Following as $145. But I have to charge dispensing fee as a business owner, as I said, as I ordered, as I want. 149. Isn't that what the patient paid for initially? That's how you check. That's why I left this here and I left the problems here. Okay. So who understood that now? There were only 2 people who got it right. Okay. How did you do it, Ellie? Yeah, show it. You want to show it? Yeah, I prefer that you show it, please.
Well, I don't know how to explain it, but my brain was just not working, so I kept, like timing it by like, so I keep doing this and I do like this, and I was like, why isn't it right? Like it's not adding up.
It's not
So that's what I did too.
So I did this, because I know 145 and they did the markup. But this is, does that make sense? It's like this, but I don't know what it is at 100.
I kind of get what she was talking
So
about.
if you times this and you divide it, it's, oh my god, I don't even know, but it works.
You're good.
And when you divide it, it gives you 100. I mean, you can already see the pattern, right? And it becomes 100, and then you just divide by 10.
She does it differently, but it's interesting. And I'm not saying she's wrong, right? That's why I said it doesn't mean that there's less people who have this answer it's wrong, okay? I kind of get what she said, but going back, if you're to convert the word problems, it can be $145 is, what was that equation? What is it? 145%, right? Of what? Of X, right? So, $145 is 1.45. What is off? What did I say? Times, right? X. Do you have an equation now?
Yes.
Okay, so what do? We divide both sides by X.
Oh, no, 45.
And your X will be 100. Your X now is 100. But you know that this is a whole pertaining to 10. So this $100 should be divided into 10. That's why I said that the numbers talk to you. You can create an equation. How did you create a formula? Because I let the numbers talk. 145 is 145% of what? For me to solve it easier, I should convert that to a decimal, right? $145 is 1.45x. Now you have an x. Divide both sides with a variable next to the x, then you should get $100. But do not forget that that pertained to the whole prescription, following, with 10 tablets. First thing you should have done, working backwards, is to take out this. Right? Because it's a fixed dispensing fee. Take out your expenses, now you're focused on this part of the problem. Got it? What about you, Sasha? Was it gas? Was it salt?
I guess, but it kind of was, because I did it differently.
You wanna show it on the board?
I see what I did wrong. 149 divided by 10, and then I subtracted the 4 from it, and then I saw that 10 was supposed to.
That's still okay,
I got it.
okay? She did 149 divided by 10. She started off by dividing it per unit. But it's harder to understand because now you split up your dispensing fee too. Okay, but if you do it right, it's still gonna come up the same. Okay, but really the first step is to take out your expense because the question was this. So you work backwards, you take out the expense first. Then you're gonna get it. Who understood it after the explanation? Very good. One more problem set. This is a review for your quiz tomorrow. Again, don't get stuck up on this because your quiz will also include conversions again. They supply and quantity to the dispense. For the freshmen, when you see, because the final exams is official for all Pima campuses, all 12 campuses with pharmacy technician program, okay? If you see on the final exam saying express, interpret, okay? When you see a number and a symbol, you gotta spell it out. Okay? A number and a symbol or abbreviation for a unit. When you see it spelled out, you have to convert it to numbers and symbol abbreviation. What do I mean by that? Look here. So on the final exam, I'm not gonna do any review for final exam. But again, we're open for tutoring after class. Okay. Nobody comes, and then you get your grades like, oh, no. Okay, so if you see this, listen. They like doing this on the final exam. 25 and EQ. And the instruction says notation, express, interpret. Then you have your answer should be 20-5, and then spell out milli equivalent. Follow? If it's in reverse, 3 grains. Express, notation, interpret, it'll be 3 GR. Clear? Okay. Let's work on this last worksheet. It's a combination of what you learned the last 2 days with some conversions and some quantity to be dispensed. Yes. That's it, please. You're not gonna see your extra credit on Blackboard yet, okay? Because that's gonna be added in tomorrow's quiz. Yes, Ethan.
Why is the dispensing fee cut from the profit? Why not have the customer pay for their expense?
It's not cut from the profit. You just have, based on this formula, you have to take it out first because it's not part of your wholesale price. Remember, dispensing fee is counted as an operating cost, which is an expense, which is included, which includes overhead, utilities, salaries. So it's not per se part of what the owner paid for importing the product or buying it from a manufacturer. You follow? This dispensing fee falls under operating cost or operating expense. It's not cost of goods. Okay? That's why the question, go back to the question is, how much is the cost or the wholesale price of that particular drug? But you were given a whole prescription of 10. In the problem, it was a set dispensing fee of $4. In real life, most pharmacies will do if the prescription amount is $1 to $15, $5 dispensing. $16 to $25, $7 dispensing. Something like that.
Yeah.
But that's in real life. This one, the problem specifically said it's a set fee of $4.
Yeah.
So take it out first because it's not part of the purchase price.
Yeah.
the pharmacy or the owner paid for to get the actual product, okay? It falls under this. I know it can be confusing, but that's why I left this formula. It always comes in handy, this basic bookkeeping or accounting formula. Sales less cost of goods sold equals gross profit minus expenses equals net profit. I didn't even talk about tax, right? But you got to remember there's tax involved in there. So sometimes, depending on the company will report it as income before taxes, and then there's another line that says income after taxes. And tax is another expense, but treated differently. Yeah. So I told you we just did a staycation, right? It annoys me when I look at the TV. I always do at least once a month staycation. When I look at the TV, the account will say separate tax, separate tip, because they're treated differently. Separate resort fee, like all of these fees, I've broken down differently because tax is different. Though it's an expense, it doesn't fall under operating expense. You follow? Okay, that's a different item. So this will be income before tax. And then take out the taxes. Income after tax. You follow? We still have sales tax, okay. But prescriptions, what else doesn't have tax? Food, not restaurants. Like eggs, milk, yeah. Gas is taxed. Is gas taxed? Yes, I can't remember. Educate me, please. Maddie. No? I think it's a necessity, so I don't think it's, I think there's no tax. Usually if it's not a necessity, then it's taxed. That's why I said eggs, milk, they're not taxed. Yeah. A whole new story. Let's see. Thank you. Does it help the introduction doing t-shirts, socks, radio? So I know the next time I teach this class to a different group. Does it help? Yeah. Does it help? Like, remember the terminologies, the application of the terminologies. It helps. Like using your the daily things or the usual things that you buy or you like or you want to buy. Ready? This is the last. Which one did I give? During the course of treatment. Is that what you got first?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. During the course of treatment, a patient will receive 960 ml of medication. How many pints will she receive? So this is a simple conversion of ml to pints, right? Answer, Angelica, is? No, whole number. 2 pints. Your conversion factor should be 1 pint is 16 ounces. So another way to picture, remember I told you a regular water bottle is 16 ounces. Okay, we're gonna picture that. That's 1 pound. It's also 1 pint. Okay, 2 pints. So don't say I'm gonna work out with a pint of ice cream. That's 1 pound, right? Okay, next one. 16 ounces, 1 pint again for number 1. So the answer is 2 pints. Number 2, Jessica. A patient is told that the maximum dose of medication is 3 TBSP. What is the maximum number of milliliters that the patient can be given? 45 ml. Conversion factor 1 TBSP is 15 ml. Who got those two correct? 2 and 45. Hands up. Good job. Stasha, number 3. A patient needs to take 10 ml of medication, but it is going to be measuring the medication with a teaspoon. How many teaspoons should he use? 2 teaspoons. teaspoons, correct. 1 teaspoon is 5 ml conversion, so the answer is 2 teaspoons. Number 4, this is your money math. We're back to money math again, or business math. Ethan, assume 5 cases of dermatological cream are purchased at $100 per case. If the account is paid in full within 15 days, a $15 discount is offered on the purchase. What is the total discounted price? Again, assume 5 cases of dermatological cream are purchased at $100 per case. If the account is paid in full, you know how we give terms? 30-day term, 60-day term, 90-day term. If you pay within this, you get a discount. If the account is paid in full within 15 days, a 15% discount is offered on the purchase. What is the total discounted purchase price? Go back to the question. What is the total discounted purchase price? It didn't just ask you of the discount. It's asking you how much.
I did it per unit.
That's okay. What's the answer?
400.
Correct. The answer is $425. How did that happen? The problem was $100. It stated it's $100 per case, but there's 5 cases. So this is $500. Use your shortcut. Times 100 minus 15. 0.85. That should give you $425. Got it? Because the question was discounted price. If the question was how much was the discount, then this will be, the multiplier will be what? 0.15. You follow? So go back to the problem. The question asks you how much is the discounted price, not the discount. Okay? Don't get confused. Here's another one. Money math. Mary's Drug Emporium offers a 30% discount on a discounted brand of cough syrup. How much will a $3.85 bottle cost after the discount? Use your shortcut. Again, Ellie, 3.85 times 0.7 should give you it can be 269, 2.69, but really it's 2.70 because it's 5, right? 5 is the next number. So $2.70. But if you keep everything on the calculator, you'll probably end up with 269. Okay? Who got that one? Hands up. Okay, number 6 can be confusing. This is when I again say that the numbers talk to you like how I explained the other one. If, off, is. I created an equation instead. Okay. Last one. Assume that a 60-day supply of antibiotic agent sells for selling price. $55 selling price. And the cost, the sells for $55 and cost the pharmacy $40. This is the cost of goods sold. That's why I'm not erasing this, right? Okay. What is the percentage markup rate? Sasha, you have an answer? Answer. Okay. Let the numbers talk again. So if I'm going to use the formula percent markup, correct, that I created, this will be markup amount, which is $55. Markup amount. 15 divided by $40 times 100. It will be 37.5% or 38%. if we let the numbers talk to us, how would this be? Right? Another color? Yeah.
So you want us to put like that answer like 37.5 instead of like 137? Like, you know what I mean?
No, because the question was specific. You have to have this. Right. It's not 137.
Sometimes like,
The question was only what is the percentage markup rate? Only part of the markup, not the markup plus the cost. You get it?
oh, but sometimes like, if you want to multiply it, you have to multiply by height together, so do you want that? instead of-
No, I want this answer. Why? The question again, go back to the question.
What's the percent?
The question asks you a percentage markup. That's why I created the formula, right?
Like, I was just wondering, because like, what would the question be if it's asking for 137?
No, that's a wrong answer.
Okay, you never asked me that, right? I
Okay?
just wanted to be sure.
No, I'm not gonna ask for that, okay? So let's do this in terms of how the numbers talk to you. Well, it says in there the selling price is 55 and the cost of pharmacy $40. Right? The question was markup rate. Right? First step would be you figure out how much the markup. So 55 minus 40, you know that, right? So 15 is the answer. Is what percent off? What should be the number? 15 is what percent off? What number should I use? $40. Right? Mark up. So you know the cost of goods, you're the owner, you know this variable, right? If we are to make that into an equation, this will be $15 percent for X 40 or 40X. So let's make it 40X. You have an X on the side, so what do you do on both sides? Divide each side by 40. And this will give you what? 0.375. Convert this to percent. This becomes 37.5%. You can do it times 100 here or move to. Did you see? I'm trying to show you that the numbers really talk. And that's how I created the formula, by reversing it. See? 15 is what percent of $40? But you have to know this variable. There are no other variables, right? You don't use this. You use this because you wanted to know what $15 is a percentage of how much you bought it for as an owner, as a pharmacy owner. You get it? Any questions? We got that one question correct, number 6, 37.5. Good job.
About the expenses, that's the bit.
Okay.
So the expenses is either the first to go or the last to go, depending on where you do, correct?
The expenses based on this formula is not part of the wholesale price. So
That's
it's
like what you-
not part of the cost of the actual original purchase of the product from Mexico, Guatemala. You get it? You're gonna picture that.
Yeah, it's 'cause like, I feel like that's the one that's like, is it like here or is it like type of thing?
That's why you take it out first, because expenses, hint, hint, wink, wink, on the final exam includes overhead, which is actually salaries, utilities, supplies, etc. Supplies meaning operating expense, operating cost. It can include your printer paper, your ink. So does that have anything to do with your job or your actual product? No, that's why it's treated differently, right? So the markup will be based on the wholesale price. Yeah,
Not the-
not the expense,
Yeah, that's
but if you're the owner, you're selling, you want the markup first, then you want to get to add to them the expenses of operating the business.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't specifically pertain to the product. This pertains to operating the business.
It's like what your work, your personal work.
Yeah, operating. That's why, remember Sasha's example yesterday? She actually sold the soap for this, and we were thinking for $12. Her cost is $4. She said, I made $8. Technically, you didn't, because you didn't incorporate your time, the value for your time, which falls under expenses. You gotta know that time is money. Right? And that's why some people get housekeepers or get outsourced things. Why? Well, their per hour rate is more than what they'll pay somebody to do a specific job. Your time is worth more than what you're gonna pay that, because my time is valuable. I can be making $200 an hour versus cleaning the house, my own house, right? Like, oh, but housekeeping is so expensive, it's $150. But if you know that you can make more money per hour, then it doesn't make sense, right? That's why I said you gotta put value on your time. That's why you want to charge that, and that's equivalent to your salaries as technicians, your pharmacist salaries. The rent is an operating cost if you're renting the pharmacy, the area, the lease. The utilities is an operating cost, but it doesn't have anything to do with your product at all. But you cannot operate without it. You get it? So it's treated differently. So your markup is going to be tacked in on this. Okay? But of course, there's a cost in operating the business, so it's a separate item. And your dispensing fee falls under operating expense for operating costs, not necessarily the cost of goods or the wholesale price. You follow? Is that clear? Why we take it out first? Have you seen this formula? In those who did accounting or bookkeeping, this is a basic formula. Okay? For accounting or bookkeeping, sales plus cost of goods sold equals gross profit. Take out all the expenses, that's your net profit. Okay? Some people will put the tax expenses or put this after. Okay. But in the word problems we've been dealing with for the last 2 days, this is termed as the selling price or the retail price. Can you follow? Okay. And your cost of goods sold is termed as the wholesale price. Think Costco, think Sam's Club. A lot of people who go to Costco and Sam's Club have businesses. Okay. Say, for example, those who operate vending machines. Okay. They buy a case of chips at a wholesale price. Okay. And then they put their markup. Okay. And sell it for whatever markup they want, put it in the vending machine. Okay. But they're not going to declare that as their income right away because there's a cost to pay the guy who puts it in the machine. Can you follow? And the gas that guy used, and the truck, and whatever expenses it is. Then there goes your net profit. There's also what we call taxes after that. Okay. Usually your expenses are about 60 to 70%. 60 to 70%. Usually when you do budgeting for a company, they're going to say our expected expenses is this percentage, and then you work it backwards. It's that I know I keep thinking last night, I really wish it's mandatory for high school students to take financial literacy class. or which includes taxation. You do your own tax. Tax season is coming up, by the way. Wait for your paperwork from school before you file your taxes. Some of you might be in a hurry. They haven't received the paperwork from school. There's tax credit in there, okay, coming from school because you're in school. Some of my students already did it. Like, wait for that because that's a big chunk. Okay. So, any questions? Yeah. Ms. L doesn't only teach you math or pharmacy, I teach you about life. I really wish there's financial literacy. Yeah. Any questions? No questions? Quiz tomorrow again, okay? Quiz tomorrow. If you bombed the quiz today, the quiz yesterday, it's gonna be very difficult for you to pass the class. There's only 3 quizzes. So you really have to work hard for the final exam, okay? It's 25% finals, 25% PPS, 25% homework, 25% quizzes, okay? We do have tutoring after class. Since finals is on Tuesday, we decided Tuesday for both classes. There's tutoring today because there's a quiz tomorrow. I'm gonna open a tutoring today. And another quiz. Oh, no, not another quiz. And tutoring on Monday, since Tuesday is final exam, okay? Take advantage of that. If you're still confused after this 2 days of this topic, you should attend tutoring. Okay? To the rest of you, except for freshmen, should have mastered conversions. They supply lines to be dispensed. This is your 3rd, 2nd, or 4th sequence doing that. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow.